Jeez, my StarCraft wanted to load quickly. Look at it go. It's like, I got this. I got this, man. Anyway, those of you joining us on YouTube right now, this is going to be FRIEDDIRT versus Goro. Game 1 on Yansu. Letter Edition. I always look at the LE and I think limited edition in my head, though. I'll be honest. Yeah, Anuzarg versus Mr. Dead Frogs, a.k.a. Fade, later on tonight. He's not here by chance, guys. Alright. Here we go. PvP is the poker of StarCraft 2. Kind of the way I look at it. So anyway, in the top right here, before I elaborate on that comment a little bit more, we have a whale. What the hell? Okay, my mouse isn't trapped inside the screen like it's supposed to be. No! We have a whale Goro wishing his opponent, have fun, have fun. Also, that's a picture of cats. Yeah, yeah. Are you actual FRIEDDIRT? Asks of this man in the bottom left, our orange player in the Protoss colors. S Taco FRIEDDIRT. And that's an inside joke. So yeah, we're not gonna bother trying to explain that one. So basically the way this matchup works out is it's really all about hiding things properly, and if you hide things in the right way, scout your opponent enough, and get off the right composition, you kill your opponent. Sometimes you can't successfully kill your opponent at all for a really long time, and you have a macro game. That's basically what PvP turns into. And if you want to see a great demonstration of PvP, with actually really good games, you know, not like short, cheesy games only, do check out Code S Round of 16 GSL from last week, I think. Or was it a few days ago? No, it was a few days ago. Check that out. Great, fantastic games, and really, really good stuff. So this is actually something incredibly irritating that Goro is doing right now. He's managed to basically slow down the gateway by about 10 to 15 seconds now. Something like that probably won't matter too much, all things considered. No, he might actually kill a probe! Okay, that matters. Those two things together is actually enough to, I think, flip a table with a lot of Protosses, especially when the first time you're playing somebody in a series like this. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see FRIEDDIRT go a little bit crazy from here. But then again, I don't know. FRIEDDIRT's always struck me as a fairly calm individual, so that may not actually happen. Still, in any case, it looks like Goro is actually setting up here to go into either into a 3-stalker push or some form of the... Yeah, there we go. 2 guys in each gas. What we're going to want to watch for... Oh, it's a little area here. 1 guy in this gas. Basically, what we want to watch for here is when he fills these gases out. That'll give us an idea of what tech he's going to go for. But it's not going to matter for a little bit here until we see the Cybernetics Core finishing. Cybernetics Core has been started good by FRIEDDIRT. I was a little bit worried there for a second. So for those of you who maybe are not necessarily, you know, watching this on the VODs, you don't know the time frame of this. Today also happened to be the day when Day9 was playing Heroes of the Storm on his channel with JP, which actually looks like a fairly interesting game. And I wonder if that's a mistake. There's only really one build you do this way with only 1 gas, and unless I start seeing some Chrono Boost going into this thing, I'm going to be a little bit worried. Okay, he's filled up both guys in the gas now. He's starting to build his income. If he goes up to 100 and then throws down something, that's going to be either Blink or DTs. If he goes past that, we might be looking at a Stargate play. And yeah, he's actually got a pylon down here ready for a potential proxy. Still leaving the probe down there. Don't know exactly what it will be yet, but we're going to watch our production tab up there. There's a Nexus. The other thing that was going on today was IEM Karuis, which I might be butchering the name horribly, and if I am, I do apologize. But basically what was going on there was we had some really incredible games, especially, I think that was Teja versus Stardust. Stardust, a real nice player, actually took a 2-0 lead. Teja made a massive comeback. I actually didn't see too much of the tournament after that, but that series is definitely worth watching. It was incredibly, incredibly good. But yeah, Teja versus Stardust. Some people are mentioning CJ Hero versus Hyun and Jakju versus Revival. Those are very good matches as well. And I would take their word on it. Anyway, we have a little bit dancing back and forth here at the front here. 2 Stalkers versus the 1 Stalker in the Mothership Core can push this back. Mothership Core is actually kind of an awkward position here. Another fresh Stalker having come out, though, is going to actually push this out of here. Needs to be careful. Might actually lose the Mothership Core right there. Throws down a Time Warp for defensive purposes. A little bit of a minor victory there for FRIEDDIRT. Gets this base down and successfully in position. Has enough energy for Photon Overcharge as well. So we should be able to hang out there for a little bit. In the meantime, we have back home what looks like a 4-gate being set up by Goro with no additional tech on top of that. This actually loses to almost every other standard PvP build. The fast expand, I'm not sure actually holds this or not. We'll find out. Pretty much going to come down to, I think, whether or not he loses this Mothership Core, actually, because if he doesn't have Photon Overcharge, the 4-gate will definitely win. That's the only thing that makes this a little bit iffy. Anyway, back here we have Robo Facility coming out. Gets a couple Immortals to back this up against the 4-gate, and he'll be fine. Ah, there it is, the Stargate. So it's Stargate into a 4-gate is what we're looking at here. Most likely only going to see a few of these gates operating at any specific time while he tries to get probably an Oracle out. And that's actually really good. You're going to need at least 2 Stalkers or Photon Overcharge to hold off that Oracle. In the meantime, the army can run up to the front, start getting a lot of damage off. If he can snipe the Mothership Core, he can probably get this entire base destroyed. And that's what he's going to be looking to cause here. But the thing is, the army size is actually starting to grow just a little bit too much. Typical gateway attack time is usually occurred about the 6-minute mark. And against, I think, a fast expand like this, the army's probably just going to be a little bit too strong for this to work. But if he can keep the army positioned again over in this location here while hitting him in the back with a single Oracle, especially if you can get him distracted enough, that can actually annihilate the entire mineral line. So this is really going to come down to the micro against this. Here comes the Oracle, activating its ability already, going after a few probes right there. He's actually doing this right next to the army. He's going to take a few hits immediately and already lose a lot of energy just from having to switch to attacking into the main base here. 1 Stalker warped in. Unfortunately, not the greatest micro on the Oracle right there, and he's continuing to attack. Only the Stalker really needs to get out of there with that thing. Didn't get the number of kills that he would have wanted, only grabbed 2. But at the same time, he was at least able to get a complete scout off in the base, and it looks like he's going to be able to kill this pylon at the front, which does actually supply black after a little bit here. But yeah, Photon Overcharge goes off, and no, it's going to lose the Oracle! Oh! That hurts. Both Mothership Cores going down, but I don't think it's actually going to matter all that much. Getting that first Photon Overcharge off is really all he needed. He's got too many Stalkers, Sentries, and an Immortal with this army. This pure Stalker army cannot push past this anymore. And at this point, Goro really should just fall back and cut his losses. He's got a Nexus of his own up, which means he's not completely far behind yet, but he needs to get more attack, and he needs to go into Void Rays. He needs to pick something. Attacking into this is not going to work out well, though. We have this many Stalkers. If he can drag the army maybe out so he can actually kite the Zealot. Ah, okay. That's almost fatal right there. Getting his army force field in half. There's no blink for these Stalkers. He loses half of his army. FRIEDDIRT is in a commanding position right now. Again, I mean, it's not just over just yet. The fact that he does have this base backing it up does help a lot. But again, like if he hadn't lost those Stalkers in attack, waited until he built up a few Void Rays on top of this army, it would be looking a lot better than it does right now. Mothership Core is out. We're going to have to wait a while for another Photon Overcharge, though. It's still pretty light on the energy. Thank you, Kadwa. I don't, not used to hearing that. I hang out with Mr. Bailey too much. Another little inside joke. But anyway. So that was about 6 Stalkers that fell right there. 2 Immortals are now in the mix. If he continues to go down the Immortal path, one way that Goro can crawl back into this is if he can get up to about 6 Void Rays, I'd say. Once he hits about that number, a Robo-focused army will actually get annihilated by a Void Ray play. And I've actually won a number of games myself this way, so I really wouldn't count out our green Protoss just yet. In the meantime, let's kind of get an idea of the rest of the layout of things. We have +1 actually just about to finish for our orange Protoss up here, and it looks like +1 having just been started for our green player. 3 more gateways funneling into play here. Neither player is... Okay, Goro's kind of supply blocked, but that's just been undone. Good. And FRIEDDIRT has a pretty impressive lead right now, up by about 30 supply. Again, the only thing Goro really has going for him here is this composition switch. If his opponent does not pick up on this, continues to go into things like Colossus, not getting things like Archons and High Templar, then this can eventually result in Goro's victory over time. It is going to be tricky, though. And honestly, I'm not really a fan of how he's just kind of keeping his army back here as if to protect this. It's going to be a little bit of a tricky engagement. Goro is backing away from here, but now he's going to lose the Stargate and potentially this other Void Ray that's actually just about to come out. No, he's actually just going to cancel it. I mean, or kind of freeze it, I guess would be the right word. Well, anyway, the army of Goro is going to escape, get back home. He's going to get back home with the 2 Void Rays, but the Void Rays have been revealed. And what is FRIEDDIRT's response to seeing the Void Rays? It looks like he's just going to build more gateways and get more stuff. And just rely on his Stalker count. Ah, there we go. Blink. Blink Twilight Council into High Templar tech. This will help out a lot against the Void Rays. Blink is a little bit awkward against Void Rays compared to most other things in the game. It's this kind of situation where you can't really get away in time. If there's enough Void Rays, they'll just annihilate the Stalkers. If there's not that many Void Rays, basically what will happen is you will lose slightly less Stalkers. And yeah, I really should cancel that. There you go. Didn't lose the resources right there. And actually expanding right in his opponent's face. That's a very bold thing to do. And frankly speaking, he's totally fine because his opponent is also expanding. But I don't think he necessarily knew that because he's just parked this Observer over the army. In fact, let's take a look at his vision right here. This is... yeah, he doesn't know about that 3rd. So he's actually doing that blind. He's thinking, I have enough of an advantage right now that you can't stop me from taking a 3rd. It's a pretty courageous thing to do. Again, you know, like in that big macro game that I was talking about in Code S, we saw both players get to about 45, 44 probes, and then basically just progress to their 3rd base as they lost minerals up here, and really never saw anybody go into a larger probe count than that. So it's actually kind of interesting the way that's working out. Goro is actually up to 58 probes now, by the way, which is, as you can see here, I mean, their supplies are actually farther apart than they look. He's 30 army supply behind. This army position here at the front is going to probably be able to run this down. And the worst thing about it, too, is this is actually going to finish. So this is going to be 400 minerals, and he really is never going to get back. So also... it looks as if... what have we got here as far as tech is concerned? +1 armor is just about to finish. 2 more robos at the front. So it looks like Goro's actually transitioning into a ground army from here. This is... I really don't like this, actually. He's going to be in a position of playing catch-up as far as this is concerned. His opponent has 2 Colossus and 2 Immortals already. And he's already knocking on his door. If he had been able to stick down the Stargate tech... oh my gosh, I gotta turn that off. If he would have been able to stick on the Stargate tech, things would be looking a little bit more bright for him right now. But that's a really intimidating army, and what we have up here are these Zealots are not going to do much against that. The three Colossus already in position is going to be enough to vaporize most of them, and it looks like FRIEDDIRT's just going to leave. And I think this is he's going to check this location here to see if there's an expansion. And he might fall back. If he does, that's not necessary. I think he could actually win right now, but... yeah, okay, he's going to push in. He wants to just end the game. He sees exactly what he's dealing with the Observer. He's going to try and attack directly this way. He's getting right on top of the army, trying to force field some of the Stalkers out. It actually does do that. And a lot of the army is actually not able to engage here, but the Void Rays are still in position. The Void Rays are actually doing an incredible amount of damage here. The Stalker count is starting to get kind of low for FRIEDDIRT, but he doesn't have enough Void Rays. Again, if that Void Ray count had been up to 4, maybe 5, he actually could have killed this entire army from FRIEDDIRT. But as is, not able to make that happen, so it's GG.